Stop for a moment and listen. Do you hear that ticking? It's coming from the watch on your wrist, or perhaps from a clock hanging on the wall. Tick, tock, tick, tock. A steady, cold rhythm, seemingly the heartbeat of time itself passing by. But now, imagine I am a watchmaker. I place that watch on the table, using the most delicate tools to take it apart. I remove every tiny gear, every spiral spring, every steel axle, and even the ruby jewels used for bearings. I lay them all out in front of you. I see copper, I see iron, I see chemical compounds and extremely precise physical structures. But here's the strange part. Where is time in this pile of components? Which gear contains the past? Which spring holds the future? And which axle is the contact point of the present moment? You will point to those parts lying silently there and realize a terrifying truth. Not a single milligram of time exists inside the watch. It is just a pile of lifeless metal cleverly arranged to simulate something we cannot see, cannot touch, and cannot directly measure. The watch is not time. It is only the shadow of time cast upon the physical world. And if we cannot find time in those tangible gears, can we find it within the folds of the human brain? When we dissect the mind to look for the present moment, we find neurons, we find electrical signals, but do we ever find time itself flowing? Look deeper into the labyrinth of the brain to see where the helplessness of science begins. Your body possesses biological clocks more sophisticated than any mechanical device. The heart beats steadily, the breath flows in and out, and brain waves spread in a restless cycle. Scientists can precisely measure the frequency of these electrical impulses. They can map the brain regions that light up when you count seconds. But stop and ask yourself, in all those cells, where is the clock hand? We find neurons, we find synapses, we find chemical molecules moving frantically. But no neuron is the present. They are just cells firing electricity in a rhythm. Let's use another analogy to see this impasse. Imagine a car engine running. You understand how the pistons move up and down, how the fuel explodes to create pressure, how the crankshaft turns to make the wheels spin. Every step is mechanical. Every step is tangible physics. But if you took all those parts apart and laid them still on the floor, would you find motion? Never. Motion is the result of the whole system, but it does not reside in any single bolt. And time in your brain is the same. Science can dissect every neural corner, but they will always miss the quality of time. This is what we call the hard problem of time. Why is it that the same physical minute feels like a century when you are waiting for someone in the cold rain? And why is it that when you are immersed in a moment of bliss, an hour passes in the blink of an eye? Science dissects the box that contains the mystery. Oh, but they are completely blind to what the experience of time is actually like. We are hitting a brick wall where mechanical gears no longer provide answers, and it forces us to look at a much more shocking reality about the nature of the flow you call life. Now, let me push your intuition into an even more shocking scenario. Imagine I could freeze every single atom in your body at this very moment. Every electron stops spinning, every neuron stops firing, every chemical reaction halts. I keep you in that state for 100 years, and then suddenly press the restart button. You wake up. To you, not a single second has passed. You don't feel that 100-year gap, but ask yourself, during that century of silence, where were you? If reality is just the arrangement of material gears, then when the gears stop turning, does your time still exist? Or are you just a time zombie, living in fragmented slices stitched together by memory? This is where the rabbit hole truly opens. There is a hypothesis that time is not an external flow passing us by at all. It is not a river we are swimming in. Instead, time might be a fundamental property of consciousness itself. We don't live in time. Rather, it is your consciousness that creates time So the universe has a framework to observe itself. Think about it. If no one were there to perceive it, would the present mean anything at all? A universe without consciousness would be an eternal block of stone, where all events happen at once, but no one knows. You, the miraculous watchmaker, are holding the fate of an entire reality in your hands. You turn scrap metal gears and soulless electrical impulses into a life full of regret, hope, and love. You are not just a victim of time. You are the only reason time exists. And when you realize the true power of the light within you, you will see that every tick-tock is not a step closer to nothingness, but a brilliant affirmation of being alive. Look at the watch running on your wrist and the hands holding it. The copper and iron atoms in those gears and the carbon and oxygen atoms in your brain share a common origin. They were forged in the burning hearts of ancient stars billions of years ago, drifting through the vast darkness of space only to gather here, in this very room, at this very moment. For what? To ask themselves a question that no machine could ever understand. Who am I? We are not soulless machines processing information about time. We are the way the universe is sensing its own flow. We are matter that wonders, atoms that know how to be sad, how to be happy, and how to cherish a moment before it vanishes forever. Never let the cold ticking trick you into thinking that life is just a sequence of numbers. Your presence, the consciousness lighting up this reality, is the most miraculous thing that has ever existed. Before we finish, I want you to imagine this. If you owned a magical watch that could freeze the entire universe, stopping every movement of galaxies and atoms, except for your own consciousness, which moment in your life would you choose to stay in? Leave your answer in the comments. Thank you for journeying with me to the very end of Time's Heartbeat.